Hello guys, welcome to this video. Again, we're going to answer a laboratory exercise. So this activity, we are going to create a simple program to compare the name type equivalence and structural type equivalence. So the procedure is we're going to write a program in the language of your choice that behaves differently if the language use name equivalence than if it is structural equivalence. Then we're going to discuss the output, and then we're going to explain the difference of name equivalence from structural equivalence. So let's do this activity. So the program that I am going to create is Java. So let's start with public class, and the name of our program is type equivalence. Then let's do our main method. And let's do first the name type equivalence. We will declare a string str1 that is equivalent to hello, then integer int1. So this is integer that value of two, three, four. Then let's display, because we are going to compare those two declarations. Name type equivalence. Okay. Instance of string and int1 is an instance of integer. Okay, so what is the meaning of this program? So we are going to identify if string 1 is a string and integer 1 is an instance of integer class. This is to identify the name type equivalence. So let's run. The program. There you go. So in this program, we demonstrate name type equivalence by comparing these two variables, str1 and int1. So str1 is a string object, while int is an integer object. Despite they are in different names, they are both instances of their respective classes, the string and then the integer. Therefore, the program will output true for name type equivalence. So let's do now the structural type equivalence. Structural type equivalence. So let's declare an object of obj1 is equal to an object another object, obj2 is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we are going to display structural type equivalence. Then obj1, so we're going to compare obj1 and obj2. So to compare that, because they are both class, get class method that equals obj2 dot get class. Okay, so let's find out if obj1 and obj2 is with structural type equivalence. So there you go. So the answer is false. Structural equivalence is false. So let's make space here. Again. Okay. So what is this? Is structural type equivalence. So we are comparing two variables, object1 and object2, wherein obj1 is a string object while the obj2 is an integer value 1, 2, 3, 4. Although they have the same structural representation, they are both objects, they belong to different classes. What classes that are that? obj1 belongs to string class and obj2 belongs to an integer class. Therefore, the output is false for structural equivalence. Let's create another Java program that demonstrates the difference between name equivalence and structural equivalence. So we'll start with variable declaration. So string, let's say s1 is equal to hello. String s2 is also equal to hello. Then s3, we will declare this as a new object or new instance. String hello. Okay, then we are going to apply now the system.out to display the output and to see the difference between name equivalence and structural equivalence. Okay, so let's say s1 is equal to s2. Let's concatenate is equal to s2. Then let's compare s1 to s3. Then s1, then we're going to use a method named equals to s2. Then S1 dot equals to S2. Then S1 to S3. Okay, so we're done. What is this program? So in this program, we have two strings, S1 and S2, that have the same value. Also, we have the third string, also with the value hello, same with S1 and S2, but there's a keyword new string. So if we are going to compare S1 and S2 using the equal operator, so let's see what is the output. So if we are going to compare S1 and S3, let's see if this is true or false. And next is using the equals method to compare S1 to S2, then S1 to S3. So let's take a look. What is the output of this? Let's run. So there you go. So in our first condition, S1 is equal to S2. That is true. They are equal. Then next is S1 to S3. Actually, this is S3. So they're not equal. So the answer is false. So we will answer that later. Why they are not equal. S1 that equals to S2. So that is true. S1 that equals to S3. That is true. So what is the meaning of that? So if we compare S1 and S2 using the equal operator, the program will output true because S1 and S2 refer to the same object in the memory. So they are in one location, or they are one object in the memory. However, if we are going to compare S1 and S3 using the equal operator, the program will output false because S1 and S3, they are different objects in memory. So meaning they are two objects, not one object. Unlike S1 and S2, they are only one object in the memory, while the S3 is another object. So meaning we have two objects. S1 and S2 is one object only. S3 is another object. Just because we use the new keyword to instantiate another object, the name of that object is S3. On the other hand, if we compare S1 and S2 using the equals method, the program will output true because they have the same value, S1 and S2. Similarly, if we compare S1 and S3 using the equals method, the program will also output true. So because they have also the same value. So meaning regardless of whether they refer to the same object in memory or not. So that's the difference between the equal operator and then the equal method. So whether different objects, but you're using an equals method, calling the equal methods, so what they are comparing is the value, not the structure. So this demonstrates the difference between the name equivalence, where two objects refers to the same object in the memory, and structural equivalence means where two objects have the same value or structures. So in Java, the equal operator is used for name equivalence, while the equals method is used for structural equivalence. I hope you understand the name type equivalence and the structural type equivalence. Thank you for watching.